1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There wasn't a local practice race scheduled today, and I still needed to get a high-intensity workout in. It had been almost a month since I had done a Zwift crit because the racing season had started. So I wanted to see if I had improved any. Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. First thing I did when I got off work is set up the crit bike on the trainer, then set up the camera so I can record everything. I then did a 2-hour endurance ride with some pickups so I can get ready for the race. Usually on my rides things go smooth, but sometimes I encounter some weird stuff. I have a number of new subscribers on this channel, so I'm going to catch you up a bit. This channel used to be about an old guy still racing bikes. Now it's about an old guy subject to AFib still racing bikes. I had my first AFib attack about 4 years ago. In about 9 weeks, I'm going to be 66. When I do race Zwift, I pretty much only race anti-sandbagging races. At 66, it's hard enough racing with honest beasts than it is with a bunch of sandbaggers. One of the first things I learned doing Zwift crits is you gotta start off hard. Well, at least as hard as you can for being almost 66. Not only do you have to go out hard, but you gotta keep on it hard. And being able to maintain hard for this old guy is, well, hard. Pretty much the first lap, in fact more than the first lap, maybe close to the first half, I was dying. I think the next time I do a couple hours before I do a Zwift crit and I do my pickups, I'll do those pickups closer to the end of the ride. Our pack numbered 22. Over half the pack were 30-somethings. Of those remaining that had their ages listed, there was a 50-something and a couple 40-somethings. I wanted to see if this last month of practice races instead of Zwift crits, focused training plan, and an actual USA cycling race, first one in 14 months due to COVID, had garnered me any improvement. There are two measurements I would use to determine how much I improved, if at all. One is, would I last until the last lap or two with the main pack? And the second is, what my average wattage would be. Back to the race. I'm toward the end of the pack here, and I'm wondering how long I'm going to last. I'm still hurting. This is still the first lap. I'm still hurting, and I'm thinking, man, I'm going to have to drop out. This is hurting so bad. The worst part of the course for me was the cobble section. It would start off with a low grade, but increase appreciably to get to the top. The rolling section was not as bad for me. I could hold my own, or I could make up time on that. I would do that by applying extra power on the uphill section and then dial back a little bit on the downhill section. Actually, the worst part came at the end of the race when I looked over at my camera and it was dead. And later I found out that it died right before the end of the first lap. As it turned out, I lasted until about a lap and a half to go with the pack, and then I slowly came off. I kept the power up because I wanted to keep it above 270 because I thought that was my best showing before, and if I could do that, then I'll have a chance to maybe break it. Another measurement of improvement I can use is my position in the pack. I spent more time than I thought I would between positions 5 and 10. There were multiple times when I was off the back by bike lengths that I had to make up, which I did, except for a lap and a half to go. And this is where my camera died. So let's look at the results. On Zwift I came in 12th, but on ZwiftPower.com that you're looking here, I came in 10th. There were 2 people that should have been A's. You may notice the 3 women in positions 5, 9, and 11. They both exceed the 4.1 watts per kilogram for this category, but they do not exceed the maximum of 250 watts. Therefore, they're racing in the right category. Let's now look at whether I improved or not. I did last until a lap and a half to go, and I did finish 36 seconds behind the leader. So that at a minimum, in that category, that's a little bit of improvement. I averaged 278 watts. Compared to my 256, 260, and 273 the previous month, that's definitely an improvement. Lastly, my positioning in the pack also indicates slight improvements. Overall, I am pleased, except for the camera dying out thing. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. I'll have a Strava link to the ride that I did in the description below. And as always, remember, comment, like, subscribe, the Cycling Greek.